Welcome to Pay It Forward, the series where strangers from around the world create a chain reaction of kindness based on a connection they make without seeing each other. Let's take a look at what happened in the previous episode when the participants met with their cameras turned off.
Hello, my name is Cristina and I'm 23 years old. I'm from Bogota, Colombia.
Hi, I'm participant 3 and my name is Sayang. I'm 22 years old and I'm currently living in England with my sister, although originally I'm from South Korea.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
What is your guilty pleasure?
I would say my guilty pleasure is eating raw cookie dough.
Oh, definitely. You have to. It's part of the...
I know, it's part of the ritual, right?
I think my guilty pleasure is self-help books.
Okay.
I'm living with my parents right now, which is not normally the setting that I'm in.
I'm really looking forward to talking with you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Expose and episode 4 of our Pay It Forward series. If you haven't seen any of our previous episodes, they are linked down below, so check them out.
In this episode, you're going to see participant 2 pay it forward to participant 3, as well as meet participant 4 from Nairobi, Kenya. So, enjoy!
All right, so we're on Zoom again with participant 2 and 3, about to bring them into the call so that way they can see one another for the first time and present the act of kindness. So let's go get them.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Very nice meeting you.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you, I guess, as I'm talking to you. I realized that I don't think I ever conjured up an image of what you looked like when I was talking to you, if that makes sense. So it wasn't like, oh, I was right or, oh, I was wrong. It's just like, oh, like, this is what you look like now.
Yeah, it's always a surprise. Like, you don't know what to expect. So very nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you. And I guess for an intro, my name is Sayang. I am 22 years old and I'm currently in South Korea.
I didn't expect you to be so young. I thought you sounded like a very, I'm not saying 22 is not mature, but you sounded very mature first as a very mature person.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so my turn now. My name is Cristina. I am 23 years old. I am from Colombia. But because of my work, I recently relocated to Nairobi. So I've been living in Kenya for 1 week so far. So yeah, the last time we talked, I was actually back at home in Bogota.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, wow. You just like totally changed your life between the last time we talked and
you were
now.
part of everything.
Wow, that's amazing. I almost want to like schedule a third call just to hear about the transition. Like,
no, we can absolutely keep in touch. Since our last conversation, I think the thing that stuck with me, you were telling me about how because of the pandemic, you moved back home and that had like a bit challenging because it meant living again with your parents and not having your own space. The theory behind my gift would be I would like to give you time. And then when I thought, okay, how do I translate that into something I can give you because I wasn't sure, like, where were you? I thought about meditation, and I think meditation like can be a really nice tool. So what I would like to give you, more concretely, I think like a month subscription where you can have some sort of meditation app, and they'll help you like have this moment just to yourself. Just enjoy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Christina, I'm blown away, first of all, because we just talked for, what was it, 45 minutes, and you just absolutely nailed it. Like, meditation is something that I can't say is mine yet because it's a skill that I've been wanting to learn how to do, honestly. It's a really poetic gift too. I was like very curious what you were going to finish your sentence with when you said you wanted to give me time, and meditation is perfect. And like, if you ask my best friends that have known me for like 4 to 7 or 10 years or whatever, this is like the gift that they would pair with me. It's perfect. Like, thank you so much. And
I'm really happy to hear that. And maybe I'll get into it as well.
Really great meeting you, Christina. And let's stay in touch.
Yes, absolutely.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Welcome to the Pay It Forward series. How does it work? Two strangers who differ in age, race, wealth, or gender, and are always from a different location will have 2 calls over Zoom. On the first call, there is a catch. The participants have to do it with their videos turned off, concealing their identity from each other. During this call, they will ask each other a series of questions that inspire a connection between them. On a second call, the two participants turn on their videos, revealing their identity, and participant A will give an act of kindness to participant B based on something they said during their first conversation. Following this big reveal, participant B, who received the act of kindness, will now pay it forward to participant C, another stranger, repeating the process. And this movement will continue, connecting people around the world to demonstrate how a single act of kindness can have a cascading impact globally.
Hi guys, participant 4, currently in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm currently running a real estate brokerage startup over here in Africa, focused on commercial and residential property. Thank you.
Hi, it's nice to.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great as well.
Well, do you want to start with a question that you want to ask?
Yeah, sure. What's your biggest sacrifice you've made in the last year?
I'm going to say that the biggest sacrifice I made was deciding not to graduate with my friends in my class. I took a decision to go on a different track, and it was a mix of good and bad feelings, but in the end, a sacrifice is like, sacrifices are supposed to be hard, right? So I am very glad that I made that decision. What about yourself?
Okay. It has to be making the decision to relocate back home. After I finished my graduate studies, is definitely the biggest sacrifice I've made in the last year. And it took me quite a while to make the decision because I had a lot of friends and family advising me against it.
Absolutely.
But I'm liking it so far.
It sometimes feels good to go against what you're expected to do though, right?
Yeah. And follow your inner voice.
Absolutely. I feel like this is kind of a good segue actually to the question about family. So I'm going to ask, how do you define your family and why?
My family is everything to me. It's the reason I wake up every morning, work hard, because to me, succeeding in life is not just a personal thing. Where I come from, we're quite communal. We tend to focus more on family and friendships and the social aspect of life. What about you?
I really love your answer. It must be very special because your family means so much to be back home. And just thank you for sharing that. And when I heard the question, I, for some reason, wanted to describe my family, like talk about adjectives so that people can understand. So my answer to this question is that my family is very selfless, and I think we see love as sort of like willing sacrifice in the best way possible. Like that's how we care for each other. And for some reason, this is the most prominent way I think I can describe how our family like shows up for one another, and it's very special to me, and I think quite influential of how I treat people, how I view the world. What do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago?
I'd say reading more books.
Wait, I was gonna say that. That's crazy. That was my answer too.
It's something that my dad especially always wanted me to do from an early age, but somehow I was that kid who wanted to always be out of the house playing soccer, running around, But recently I came to learn or to see the value of just binge reading, and it opens you up to realize that there's so much possibilities in the world.
Well, honestly, your answer just stole the words right out of my mouth. Like that's perfect. What is your favorite tradition that you have with family or friends?
Since I was a kid, and this started with my dad. Every Christmas we used to go take a trip to the countryside, to our farmhouse, and just have a good time without limits whatsoever. What about you?
My favorite tradition is kind of a silly one, but it brings back a lot of good memories. But basically, we randomly started this tradition of eating lasagna when it's a family member's birthday instead of cake. So one day my sister, she wanted lasagna instead of a cake. So my mom makes like delicious homemade lasagna, and she baked a lasagna cake and put candles in it. And we loved it so much that we kind of decided to make it a tradition, and that's what we do now, except we've adapted it so that we remove the candles because we realized the lasagna is so hot coming straight out of the oven that it actually melts the wax. So we don't put the candles in anymore.
Yeah. What motto or saying do you live by?
Ooh, this one, honestly, put simply and maybe even crudely, I would say is don't be an asshole. That's just simply how I try to treat people. And if I were to translate it, I think one of my values is thinking about other people more than I think about myself. And I think I truly believe that if people did more of that, if people's default orientation was to think about other people and not think about themselves, I feel like society would just be so much better.
Definitely.
What about you?
It's in Latin, so veni, vidi, vici, which basically means I came, I saw, I conquered. So in every situation, I view myself as a person who has come to do a particular task, and I have to do it well and get done with it and move on to the next. So I come, I see, I conquer. And it's allowed me, that motto has allowed me to do things that I ordinarily wouldn't.
Also, it sounds very nice. It sounds much nicer than my motto.
Right, Latin generally does.
That was the last question. It was so lovely to meet you and kind of spend the last, I think, 40-ish minutes chatting.
Yeah, and it's also been lovely getting to interact with you, even though I don't know your name, I don't know where you're from, but the conversation was top. I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, so take care, and I look forward to seeing you then.
Okay, sure. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you all so much for watching our video. We really hope that you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned next week to see our video where you'll see participant 3 pay it forward, as well as meet participant 5 from Italy.
And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications because we post new videos every Sunday. And check out the link in the description to become a future participant.
See you next time.
Bye.